We've done as much research as we can, but we still can't say for sure whether these types of performance leaps are even possible.
What a bunch of nonsense, dude. I'm sorry, I've been trying to not get triggered. I've been trying. Really. I don't have anything against this person personally, or against iFixit personally. Excuse me. Do you know why we pulled you over today? Exactly. It's because you're not subscribed. So you better fix that right now, or we're gonna have to take you in. There's a lot to talk about. We still have a lot to get through. iFixit. I am listen, iFixit and I probably have quite a lot of different standpoints. Let me just say that. But if you guys really want to watch this, then let's just get into it. And I mean, I appreciate their content, right? Let's not forget that they make great content. I would definitely not endorse what they're doing, opening up MacBooks and voiding warranty and stuff like that, like taking it apart. Do not do this yourself. Just go to the Apple Store, go to an Apple authorized reseller to fix your MacBook. Do not open it yourself. Do not mess with it, especially not when you are under warranty. It is going to be problematic. Anyways, this is what the public wants. It's what the public gets. So let's just move into it and let's react. That's the content that you guys want for some reason.
Our first look at Apple's M1 MacBooks Air and Pro, and as the reviews came in, we could feel the winds of change on the horizon. And it's unfortunate that progress comes at the cost of modularity that a truly pro laptop deserves. We've done as much research as we can, but we still can't say for sure whether these types of performance leaps are even possible.
What a bunch of nonsense, dude. I'm sorry, I've been trying to not get triggered. I've been trying really hard to not get triggered by this shit, but this is some bullshit, fam. Like, I'm a recruiter, right? Like, my main business is being a recruiter. I speak to developers every single fucking day of my life. Literally, weekends, work days, every single day, day, night. If I don't want to sleep, if I literally just want to do some business, we have a department we have a division that is in the United States. If it's dark here, it's light there. I can work 24/7. I literally used to talk to developers 16 hours a day, and I have never heard a developer literally come to me and say, well, okay, the company you're presenting to me is going to give me a pro device, but it's a MacBook, and I want a device that I can actually dismantle and just upgrade myself. A professional, maybe as a hobbyist, probably at home, a developer might want to obviously be able to do a lot of stuff with their computer, develop stuff, and maybe if they are interested in hardware, they want to switch out a bunch of things as well. But if I'm talking about professionals in their job, I'm talking about employees, freelancers, people with their own company, daily. I have never heard this request. I've never heard anyone talking about this. Only in the tech space, let's say tech and enthusiast people that obviously, I don't know, have a certain way of doing of buying certain products want this, but they also buy products that can do it, right? You now have framework, you now have obviously always had desktop computers. Apple has a desktop computer that is modular. Laptops, there are still a bunch of laptops that you can swap out the RAM. I feel like you still have laptops where you can even swap out the processor if you want to. You can swap out the entire motherboard if you want to. Mac is serving an audience that does not care about it. So if you're not the target audience, which this person obviously isn't, look at his fucking table. So no, he isn't the target audience. Then what are you saying? Like, why does every single computer has to do whatever you want it to do? Right? Why can't we have a computer that serves our needs and is focused on privacy. So if you pop open the laptop and you want to remove the motherboard and put it into something else to maybe get to my data, it won't work because it's serialized and it wants to have the Touch ID sensor that is glued to the flipping device, to the keyboard. That is something that I care about. You care about having a modular computer, and flipping buy a framework. Like, I do not understand why these people can't just be happy with the stuff that they can buy and with the stuff that they have. Why are they constantly advocating for stuff that I like, or probably the community that I'm in and the community that I have built for this channel as well likes? We spend thousands of dollars on this computer knowingly how curated the platform is, and knowingly how focused it is on privacy, or knowingly how locked down it is. We know. And if you don't know, and you have the amount of money to impulsively buy a product that you didn't research well enough to understand that you won't be able to upgrade it, sorry, I don't feel sorry for you. If you can jump into a store and just say, well, you know what, I am just going to buy a $4,000 machine. Research? No, I don't even have a laptop at home. What, you mean in the App Store they have working devices? I can go to Google right here and Google if I can repair the device that I'm going to buy for $4,000? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to complain afterwards on Twitter. Oh my fucking god. I don't have anything against this person personally, or against iFixit personally. Okay, let's just move on.
Current socketed memory and storage limitations. Though we do have our eyes on technologies like Intel's new Alder Lake CPUs with dedicated efficiency cores, PCIe 5 connectivity, and socketed DDR5 memory support. By way of comparison, our scoring system doesn't punish smartphones for not having modular memory and storage because of the obvious space and size constraints, and the lack of industry standard sockets for such components. Up until now, the divide between laptops and smartphones has been clear, so it's been an easy distinction to make. But since M1 is kind of like a beefed up smartphone processor, those lines are blurring fast. It's complicated. M1 conundrum aside, these new MacBooks Pro have other repair follies. Penelope screws on the lower case are completely unnecessary, and even the process of removing the cover after the screws feels like it was designed to be scary. And while I don't want to undersell the importance of the newly removable battery, even friendly stretch release adhesive can be a pain if it breaks on you, and having to remove the trackpad to get the last strips is confusing. The thing is, this problem has already been solved elsewhere. Just put the battery in a frame and fasten it with screws. I promise nobody will mind the extra millimeter, Apple. Beyond the battery,
I'm so over this video, dude. I can't begin to explain how much I'm over this video. I want to say a lot of things I shouldn't, but I feel like I'm about to. And I probably am about to end my career before it even starts. But I'm going to say it. What the fuck is this guy to say nobody is going to care about that extra millimeter? Every single review, every single hands-on, every single first impression that I have seen about this device has been constantly starting with the same sentence. Oh, this is a thick boy. Oh, it's a lot heavier. Oh, you should go for the 14-inch because, oh, this year the 16-inch is quite big. It's quite heavy. Like, I just, in a few, like, minutes ago, we were talking about earning reports. If you look at that scale, if you look at the amount of people that are buying this stuff, and if 1% of those people switch or change their mind, we're potentially talking about billions of dollars, at least millions of dollars. So this guy is just going to sit here, well, the extra millimeter is not going to mind anyone. And then another person is going to say, well, you know what? I want Face ID right now in this chassis. So if it's not ready to be small enough, no one is going to care about that extra millimeter, right? And then everyone is going to have one opinion. Everyone is going to add a millimeter. At some point, you're going to sit there with a fucking blast spaceship, like a fucking Alienware computer, as thick as your flippin' house, and it's going to fucking blast off into space like Buzz Lightyear because it's trying to open a fucking web browser. Like, what do you mean? Like, this guy, I'm sorry, like, I do not want to get personal into this. Like, this guy is probably, it's whatever, right? I do not have anything personally against this guy or against iFixit. I just can't comprehend why these people, for some reason, completely understand that they are not the target audience for this device, but do have this arrogant way of just saying what we should have in our MacBooks. Us, the target audience, the people that do actually like the ecosystem how it is right now, we actually do want them to be as thin as possible. This is what we want. This is what a lot of us want. Well, I would assume that people that invest thousands of dollars into an ecosystem understand that they should be on board with the vision. Otherwise, why spend so much money on this ecosystem? This is not just since last year that Apple was trying to make it as thin as possible. This has been going on for decades. So, this history of information all around the globe to be able to see what the vision is from Apple, it's quite easy. It's one Google search away. So what is the problem with doing that Google search before you buy something? This guy knowingly says that that nobody is going to mind about an extra millimeter. Not that he has never spoken to one that wouldn't mind. Not that he has no experience of ever reading or seeing anyone say it. No, he says literally factual, as a fact. Nobody would mind. Well, all I can say is I am very glad this guy is not in the board of Apple. Because it would definitely tell me to just find another company to buy into an ecosystem. Because I am not going to sit here with an Alienware, which is essentially what's going to happen. It is essentially what is going to happen. And you know it. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it, right? And you can tell me, well, this, that, and the other, but it is literally true. Like, for the most part, if we're going to listen to everyone, oh, well, you can just add this, you can just add that, you can just, well, it's not ready, but you could have just added, right? Who cares about that extra millimeter? Again, if we're going to listen to everyone, just add this, just add that, just add the blah, 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 I'm just gonna sit here with like a tank on my flippin' desk. And I don't want that. And apparently, if we just assume that people that spend that amount of money on certain products research what they're buying, other people do not want that either. Otherwise, they would have bought it. Because it is available somewhere else. You guys should never send me anything from iFixit ever again. I wish iFixit and this guy and all the people that around it the best in life. Best of health, best of happiness, and the best of luck. But let's just not do this. Let's just not do this again because I'm triggered, dude. I'm triggered as fuck right now. They did it. They did it, and for that, I mean, good on you, man. Good on you. Okay, good on you. Okay, just to show. I just liked the video. It's probably nothing like on top of all the other likes. Just want to show that it's not something that I don't hate them. I don't want anyone to fix it, or I don't want any drama or whatever. I just want to literally on this point. I disagree so hard that it just triggers me. It does.
It's nice that most of the screws inside these machines are Torx, and the logic board removal process is much smoother than the older Pros.
Fucking
It is still annoying that you'll need to remove the whole board to thoroughly clean your fans though. Also annoying is the fact that you can't perform screen or fingerprint reader replacements without negative side effects. Swapped screens lose True Tone functionality, and swapped fingerprint readers lose their Touch ID powers. All things considered.
Yeah, because it authenticates a user to get to the most personal data source in the history of humanity. Well, the second most, literally deepest data source ever, because on top of that is the phone, obviously. Ever. There's literally no device, no product, nothing at all, apart from maybe the servers at the FBI and the NSA, that contains more personal data than your phone and your flipping personal computer. That's why some people obviously do not want good people and bad people. Unfortunately, you have to do both to have access to that component and be able to switch it. Because I have spoken to hackers, I've spoken to people that say the moment you will be able to swap it, it would also be able, you will also be able to spoof it. Potentially. Obviously, we do not know because it's impossible to do right now, or nearly impossible. Like, obviously, everything that runs on software is still hackable. Although this is a hardware component, there is still some software that authenticates, that does the process of authentication and letting you in. So there will be other ways to get into your MacBook still, right? We have seen the whole Pegasus situation. The whole point is make it as hard as possible, right? There's a normal guy that just steals a MacBook doesn't have access to Pegasus code or hacking, right? So we're obviously talking about me, an uninteresting person that probably nobody cares about. If they even steal my Mac, they're probably going to sell it either for parts, or if they are able to get like across the iCloud lock, they're going to sell the entire device. That's it. They do not care about my personal data. But there are people that probably do have to be more scared about their personal data and to have it protected as much as possible. That is something that Apple offers right now. And if you do not like it, again, buy a framework laptop, right? Because you can take out the motherboard, connect it to a fucking fridge, while it is also connected to a toaster, and you can, instead of making it do laptop tasks, you can probably engineer it in a way that it can pick up some toast out of the toaster, pick up some cheese out of the refrigerator, and put some butter on it, and then when you come down from a hard day of work, for lunchtime, for lunch break, you can just go there and eat your grilled cheese, right? You can do that, and that is awesome, and I wish you the best of luck with that. Obviously, this is a ridiculous example. I'm just saying, world of possibilities there. So please be happy with it, please, and hopefully just make it as big as humanly possible, so we don't get this fucking bullshit about, oh, Apple is too big, like, framework can't do anything because Apple is too big. No, obviously not, right? Framework is growing, and I hope it grows as fucking fast and big as fucking possible in the history of companies. With that, one of the biggest companies in the world, the biggest company in the world. I want on scale, framework, hopefully, do not have any drama. Please, framework, become as big as that. And please, shut up about whatever we want to have in our fucking room, please.
The M1 MacBooks Pro 14 and 16-inch earn a 4 out of 10 on our repairability scale.
Good.
For now, this score includes a penalty for integrated storage and memory like any other laptop would, but if we learn that this level of performance is truly impossible without that, we will readjust our expectations.
Hopefully
After all,
next year
there
we get
are ways to make
1 out of 10.
modular, repairable computers without socketed storage and memory. And the goal of the repairability score isn't to hold back progress, it's just to keep these companies accountable.
Accountable for what? You want to eradicate every single option that we have on this entire market for a laptop that is as secure as a MacBook. You want everything to be replaceable, and with that, potentially more spoofable. Less secure. That's what you want. You want to leave 0 options for people like us. That's what you want. That's literally what you just said. Obviously, it sounds better if you say it like, oh, we want everything to be repairable. What about the people that do not want that? Because repairable is obviously a good thing, right? It's cool. Like Obviously, that's great. The problem is, with repairability also comes security risks. Like, I've spoken to so many hackers that told me that whatever options you have, we have. So if you can get past something, we can get past that same thing. It's very logical. Right? And they said, obviously, they have more options, or, well, we have the same options, but they know about more options, obviously. They did clearly state that there are other ways to get into the MacBook. So I'm not trying to say that, well, with this, it's now secure as ever and nobody would be able to get into it. It just makes it harder. And I just do not understand why people like this can't just accept that this is what we want. It's not hard. Anyways, we have wasted way too much time on this shit. Thank you guys so much for getting me involved in this flipping bullshit. Let's just move to a new flipping article, a better article, something interesting.